Hey everyone. I have natural light today from the sunset. It's absolutely gorgeous today. It's like orange and pink and purple. And it's nice that it's staying light out so late. I thought I'd come in here and answer some questions. I'm from New York State, but not New York City, which I know is always disappointing because New York is one of the states that people recognize, you know, like if you're from Texas or California or New York, people know what state you're talking about. And they're like, oh, are you from New York City? And it's like, no, I'm sorry. I'm from the middle of nowhere. Like there are more cows in my hometown than there are people. My language classes start soon, so I'm about to be so busy. I'm about to be busier than I've been in so long. It's gonna be a really hard transition for me. I'm not used to like leaving the house every day at a certain time and having to be in the same place every day because like I've worked from home for the last couple of years, so even then like I wasn't used to like putting on real people clothes and going out in public every day. It'll be good for me, but I still don't know where I'm going. I just know the start date is March 31st for my Finnish language classes, but I don't know what building I'm going to. I'm pretty sure I know the times. I'm pretty sure it's 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., but I don't know. They're like, we'll email you. And then they haven't emailed me yet, so now the sun is setting, so now I need to, turn my light on. Jesus Christ. There we go. Okay, now I have my light. It was like so beautiful a second ago, and now all of a sudden it's so dark outside. I've been in Finland officially. I moved here in September, but I've kind of been here since last May. I was here last May, June, July, went back to the States in August, and then came back and moved here officially, got my residency September 2024. I know a lot of Finnish words. I feel like I try to do a lot of self-study. Like I watch YouTube videos like Finnish with Anna, and that's mostly just learning words and terms. I don't know. Hi. I don't know how to like put Finnish words together yet, and I don't know any of the endings. And so like we were just watching Diili on TV right before my husband went to golf, and I can like pick out words. I'm like, okay, they're talking about sausage, they're talking about children, they're talking about cars, but I can't always put together the context of what they're saying, but I can pick out so many words now. Yeah, I hope to go back to the dance class this week. So the disco class, which actually didn't end up being disco at all, is on Thursday nights, and I won't be able to go to the Wednesday morning class anymore because of my language classes starting, which was too bad because the old ladies in that class were so nice to me. But the ladies at disco were also so sweet. And it was funny, like half of the class was in Finnish music, and then right in the halfway point, we did bara bara bashtu bashtu, and I already like knew the dance from it because I watched it on TikTok, and my German friend was like, how do you already know this dance? And I'm like, I'm on social media too much. And then after that, she started using American pop songs, and all the Finnish ladies were like, how do you know all these songs? And I'm like, it's Ariana Grande. Like, of course I know it. I don't know. Yeah, we've been starting to watch these Finnish YouTubers. Their old videos didn't have captions in English, but their newer ones do. They're doing like around the world in 60 days with no money, and we just watched their first episode and we really enjoyed it. And then there was one that had English subtitles, and they went up to like a reindeer farm in Lapland, and that was like a really sweet video. So yeah, we've been trying to find more Finnish content that has English subtitles, and excuse me, my goodness. That's what happens when you drink a Pepsi Max at night. I've watched some like Disney movies in Finnish, but I have a nice smile. Thank you. This is one of my favorite things about myself. I have good teeth. I got them from my dad, and I got my eyes from my dad and my hair color from my dad, so it makes me feel close to him. I moved to Finland because I'm married to a Finnish man. We met in the States on a dating app, and I didn't know he was Finnish until we went on our first date. And the first 5 minutes of the date were really hard because I couldn't understand what he was saying. To this day, I actually don't know what he was trying to tell me in those first 5 minutes. I think he was trying to tell me his favorite drink, which I know now is a Moscow Mule, but that was not coming across to me then. And I had never thought much about Finland. Like, I knew it existed, but I didn't know much about it. And now I live here, and my whole life is Finland. Yeah, it's super random. I didn't expect to end up in Finland, even though I did expect a little bit to end up in Europe because I have a lot of friends who are European, like 2 of my soulmates, like one of my soul friends is from Germany and another one is from Denmark. So I've always gotten along really well with Northern Europeans. He does not speak Raleigh English. He doesn't. None of his friends do either. I do know people that speak Raleigh English, like in my town, but no, my husband does not. People always assume that too, and I'm like, no, like you can speak, I don't know, I feel like you can speak English with a Finnish accent and not have it be Raleigh English. Would I ever move back to the States? Yes, if some things change, but the way it looks right now, probably no. I really like being over here. I really like being over here in Finland. I like being in Europe. And I'm very scared for the future of America. And I wouldn't have children if I lived in America. And I really want to be a mom. I really want to have kids. So yeah, English does not look like it's, sorry, not English. America does not look like it's in the cards for us. And there's like things that I like about the US, but it's mostly just like I miss my parents and my family. Like, yeah, there's food that I like there. And of course I feel some type of way about America because I am American. Like I do love some like Americana. Like if you play Country Roads by John Denver, like I will cry. But I don't know, like I can find really good food here. I found really good cafes and restaurants here. So it's like if my parents could just move here, I'd be totally fine. I am living on the Southwest coast. I live in a small city. I don't live in a big city. Even though recently, like, I really like the city that we live in, but just in this past week, I've had to turn down 2 events that were in Helsinki that I was invited to just because of, like, my language classes starting and it being far away, and so I'm feeling a little, like we would never move to Helsinki, but I'm like, maybe if we lived a little closer, because there's just, you know, like, a lot of opportunities in Helsinki, especially for immigrants. Do I like Finnish-style chicken wings or dry American buffalo wings? Okay, so I'm from about an hour outside of Buffalo, New York, where the buffalo wing is from. So I've grown up with amazing chicken wings. They are not dry. Like they are the best chicken wings in all of America. So if I'm in other places in the States, maybe not, but like where I'm from, we have really good chicken wings. But I have been to, I can never say it right. It's like Sipi Vidget? I don't know. I went in Tampere, and they're like the Finnish chicken wing chain. They're based off of like a Florida chicken wing, and their chicken wings were really good. And those felt very much like the Buffalo, New York chicken wings, especially like sauce-wise. What's it like being an American immigrant at the moment? I actually just posted a long video on the other app where longer videos are. I don't think I can say the name on here, but it's hard. I think if I was an American immigrant years ago, like before the current US political administration, it would be different. But right now, it's kind of like, I feel like I have to be almost like a political commentator constantly, and I'm not the most politically inclined person. And so I feel like I have to constantly like defend things and criticize things, and like, it's so frustrating that my country's a freaking circus right now, because I would love to focus on other things in my life and not always like have that in the back of my head and be nervous about my family and nervous about my friends and nervous about my home country. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to be an American immigrant right now. And it's even if the, you know, the politics weren't what they were right now in the States, like people already don't love Americans. So like even before Trump was back in office, even when I was here in Finland last summer, most people in my real life are really nice, but there was a couple of people, like I had some people at a midsummer party say some really snarky, rude things to me, and just because I'm an American. So like the stereotypes aren't always fun, but it's like part of it, so I'm used to it. Yeah, having a Finnish husband definitely does help with the integration. I feel farther along in my integration faster than my immigrant friends who are not here with a Finnish partner, like people that came here to work or to study or to like flee war. You know, I feel like I've been able to make Finnish friends faster because of that, and like participate in Finnish culture more because of a Finnish husband. So yeah, my integration journey is definitely different than maybe other immigrants. Is Finland cheap compared to New York? City or state? New York is one of the more expensive states in the country. We have some of the highest taxes, but we also have some of the best education and public services and stuff. And so, yeah, the cost of living is higher a little bit in Finland, but people also make a lot more money in the US. But we also have to like pay for healthcare. And like I was uninsured. I didn't even have healthcare the last year that I was in the US because it was too expensive for me. And I had a good job. I made good money. And it was like I made too much money to get healthcare through the state, but I didn't make enough money to pay for my company's healthcare. And those were the only two options. What do I do for a living? Nothing right now because my language classes are starting soon. And my integration officer's like, don't get a job because you'll have to quit it once your language classes start, because my language classes are a full-time thing. I'm in like the not advanced, but the accelerated learning language classes. So for like the next year, my job is to learn the Finnish language so then I can integrate into society better. So that's what I'm focusing on right now. But I did social media. I was a social media manager for plastic surgeons and med spas before I moved here. So I edited Botox videos all day long. The biggest difference in American education in Finland, there are so many differences. That would have to be like a whole separate, maybe I should make a video on it sometime. But I still am learning so much about the Finnish education system, and everything that I learn blows my mind. Like kids start school so much later. There's such a emphasis on play. Their school days are shorter. School deviates so much as you get to high school. You're in high school longer. You start university later than we do in the States. Like in the States, even at 4 years old, like you are in a classroom for 8 hours. It is sit down, shut up. Like they are training you to be in the American workforce pretty much. But it's a little bit hard for me sometimes because I went to an amazing public school in New York State, and like other schools would come to our school to like learn how to be better schools. Like we had an AP program, we had an IB program. Like I was in the IB program. I was taking university classes through my high school starting at age like 15. So when I went to university, I was already a second semester sophomore. So I got an incredible public school education, but that's not always the case. So it's hard for me because I just feel very lucky to have received such an amazing education in America, but that's just not everyone does. Pay for company healthcare. They don't provide it. No, they don't provide it. No, that's not how it works in America. You have to pay. Everyone has to pay. And most healthcare is through your job. Even like nurses have to pay for their own healthcare, and they work in healthcare, which is awful. For how long are you in Finland? Indefinitely. I hope to have my children here and raise them here and do life here in Finland. Why do you want to live in Finland? Because I have a Finnish husband and I'm having a great freaking time. I love living in Finland. Like, I'm just going to be honest. I love my little city. I love the friends that I've made here. I'm healthier here. The education is better here for my future children. They won't get shot in schools. Yeah, so that's some of the reasons. And I'm having a great time. Like, I get to, you know, two of my besties, one lives 1 minute away, one lives 5 minutes away. I get to like carry dinner over to their house and live my dreams of having a close-knit, walkable community where I can bring dinner to people. Yeah, am I planning on moving a larger city? It's something that we talk about all the time. We probably will need to at some point. We'll probably move to Turku just so that I'm closer to Helsinki, because the opportunities for me are pretty limited here. But right now, for the next year, at least we're gonna be here for my language schooling, and then we'll probably see from there what we're gonna do. Calling teachers by their first name. I got in so much trouble in high school. I have this one teacher that I just did not respect. So I called him by his first name because I wanted to, let him know who's boss. And I got sent to the principals, and I don't regret it at all. I have a whole video on that, though, about calling teachers by their first name. Because I actually don't think it's a bad thing that in America people call their teachers by their last names, because I think it sets a boundary and it's a respectful thing. because like there are kids and there are adults, and I think that it is one way for a kid to, I don't say like know their place, but like you're not friends with your teacher. Your teacher is not your friend, and I think having that boundary is helpful. Have me and Fred plan to spend some time in the U.S.? Honestly, with the news that I've been seeing recently, I don't think we'll go to the U.S. for the next 4 years. They're detaining green card holders in the U.S. People who are there on holiday from Germany and England who were there completely legally are in detention centers now. I'm not bringing my husband into that situation. So I was talking to my parents yesterday, and I'm like, I don't know if we're going to come home for Christmas. And they're like, we'll go to Portugal. Let's just all meet up in Portugal or Spain or somewhere fun and warm for Christmas instead. And I'm like, hell yeah, that's awesome. Because I don't ever want to put my husband in a dangerous situation just because I miss my family, you know. Do I like sauna? Yes, I love sauna. Do I still think Finnish culture is different to the US? Yeah, absolutely. I don't think I'll ever change that. I have a villain laugh. Yeah, I've gotten that. Even when I was a little kid, I very much identified with like Disney villains. Like if I was in the movie Tangled, that would be Mother Knows Best. I'd be Mother Gothel. And I have like fangs that are kind of villainy. Did you get permanent residence immediately? No. So I have a 1-year permit, and then I have to reapply for that in September. And then I'm pretty sure the next one is 2 to 4 years. Maybe it's 2 years. And then I can apply for permanent residence once I've been in Finland continuously for 4 or 5 years. Or if my language is good enough, at that point, I can apply for citizenship. So hopefully I do well in my language classes. Yeah, so Finnish culture will always be different than American culture because Finnish people are different than American people. You know, just at the end of the day, the way that Finns approach life and the way that Americans approach life is completely different. So even if we ate the same exact food, even if we had the same exact houses, and if we wore the same exact clothes and had the same exact brands and everything, Finnish culture would still be different to American culture just because of ideology and just because of like the way that we view life and the way we go through life and the way we view the community, the way we view other people. Like it's just so baked in differently in our two cultures that they would never be the same. It will always be different. The funny thing is about salmiakki, I hate black licorice normally, and I like salmiakki. I guess I just like licorice when it's salty. I don't like gummy salmiakki. I like the really small classic salmiakki, and I haven't tried a lot of other salmiakki-y things. I've tried like salmiakki shots at the bar and at Midsummer, but I haven't tried like salmiakki ice cream because I don't know if I'll like that, but I always see that in the store. Blueberry ice cream is the best. I have had blueberry ice cream. It's very good. I also tried pear ice cream here last summer. This is going to break some hearts. I think American ice cream is better than Finnish ice cream. Most Finnish ice cream, because I used to work at a homemade ice cream shop, so I have really high standards for my ice cream. Finnish ice cream has too much air put into it, so it's too fluffed for me. I prefer like a denser, creamier ice cream than the Finnish kind. I don't know. I sounded last week. I did a little morning solo sauna one day. I've been having dry skin recently, which I'm not used to having. That's like a new thing that's happened to me since I moved to Finland. And so I like dry brushed in the sauna. I love doing that. I think I need to level up because last summer I bought my first sauna brush and I got like the gentlest one because I have like a lot of sensory and texture issues. And so I didn't think I would like it. But now that I'm used to it, I think I need to like get a rougher one. I think I'm ready. I do like Helsinki. My husband does not. So we'd probably move to Turku. We both really like Turku. He went to university there. He has lots of friends there. And it's less expensive than Helsinki. I like to visit Helsinki. And I like to like pretend to be a city girl for a little bit. But then I like to come back to our house. Sauna. Oh my God, yeah. What was it? So when we were first dating, like 2 weeks into dating, when we were in the States, my husband was like, "You've never done a sauna before, have you?" And I was like, "No," because no one in the States does or does a real one. And so the only one locally was an infrared sauna, and he took me to that. And as we were walking there, he's like, "You gotta stop saying sauna. You have to stop saying it." He's like, "It hurts my ears." He's like, "You can say anything else however you want. You need to say sauna correctly." And so we went to this infrared sauna place, and I guess it was like his litmus test to see if I could handle it. Because like, if you can't handle infrared sauna, I don't know if we can keep dating, because sauna is such an important part of Finnish culture. And it was like the roughest 30 minutes of my life. But like, Americans don't know how to do sauna correctly, and infrared is so differently. And I think this place like just didn't want to have to pay to have showers, because they're like, don't shower for an hour after your sauna experience, because you're still detoxing. So we had to like put our clothes back on, covered in sweat, and go back home that way. Like, it was nasty. So, and it was so funny because I had to call and book that sauna experience because my husband was at work. And so, well, my boyfriend at the time, but he's like, here's the place, I'll pay for it, but can you just book it? And I was like booking it, and I'm like, yeah, for me and my, this man. And they're like, are you sure you want to go in together and be in the same sauna? I'm like, yes, that's fine. And I had to like really convince them that I wanted to be in a sauna with a man, because like in the US, it can be, especially if you're like undressed, it's a very gendered thing. And the US is just more like prudish about that. And I finally had to be like, we are dating. Please let us be in the same sauna. And then she's like, well, okay. Do you want to be in the like there's one that can fit 6 people, so you guys can sit farther apart in that one. And I'm like, girl, I don't care. Like, I've never done a sauna before. Like, I'm just trying to pass this test that my Finnish boyfriend has set up for me. I love the area that I live in. Yeah. Oh, I don't say Turku right. Sorry, I'm freaking trying. This is why people don't try to learn Finnish. Turku. It just pisses me off, sorry. Like, I can't say freaking anything correctly. I don't know. I get so annoyed sometimes. And even in person too. Like, there's one restaurant in our town, and I keep trying to say it because I really like it, and no one ever knows what I'm talking about. And I'm like, that one restaurant? They're like, oh, those are the sounds that you're trying to make with your mouth? Like, yes, I'm trying my best. I truly am. But it's different because, like, in Finland, everything is so exact. Like, in the US, if you say photographer, I know you mean photographer. But in Finland, if you say, if you change even the emphasis on the word, it changes the word. What about Finnish chocolate? I love Finnish chocolate. Fazer is incredible. I brought some back to the States with me because my parents love it as well. That's something that you guys really nailed. You really crushed that. How did my husband agree to do that? To do the infrared one? Because it was the only option. We did find out later that there are traditional Finnish saunas on a lake near where we live, like a 45-minute drive from where we were living at the time. But it was $100 an hour per person to use a freaking sauna. And my husband's like, I'd rather build one in your parents' backyard than pay that amount of money to do that. Hello from Tampere. Hello. I would love to come back to Tampere. I've only been there when it's cold, and we're planning a trip up there. Hopefully, like in May, I would love to go. For some, yeah, like I feel like I pronounce, now I feel like I'm getting nervous about it. Turku. I feel like I pronounce it well. But people always come after me for saying that. People say I say Helsinki wrong. I'm just saying it the way I've always said it. Like, that's the one city that everyone in the world knows from Finland. So maybe it's just my voice. Maybe it's just like my New York Valley girl accent. What recent food have I discovered? God, I had a new pastry the other day. It was kermamunkki. It looked like a hot dog bun, but it was a donut filled with cream and strawberries. I love Finnish pastries. I am obsessed with Finnish pastries. They are so good. But yeah, I would love to go up to Lapland eventually. It just wasn't in the cards for us this past winter, because I would love to go up in winter. I would love to do like the reindeer thing, like reindeer sled and dog sled. And we watched a video last night of when they sort the reindeer every winter. Fascinating. A little bit heartbreaking too, but very fascinating. And learning about like legal Finnish logging that is getting rid of the trees that have the moss on it for the reindeer in Lapland. The mosquitoes are very bad here. They're almost as bad where we're from because it's much damper. It's much more humid where I'm from. So there are lots of mosquitoes. And we live like, where I'm from, we live in an old farmhouse that's like been in my family since the 1800s. So like we got bugs, we got critters. Like I am not from a prissy family. My parents they backpack for like 2 weeks at a time in the summer. They're fine. They'll be fine with the mosquitoes here. I would love to come to Helsinki soon. I was really sad. I actually had to turn down 2 events in April in Helsinki because they don't work out with my language classes. My language classes are my #1 priority for the next year. And then after that, after I've done my language classes, then I feel like I can do more. And hopefully like I can take long weekends here and there and have a summer vacation, but like integrating, getting more comfortable with Finnish, doing my language classes is my number one priority at the moment. Hi, Mom. Yeah, bugs don't bother us. I don't think people realize really where we're from, Mom. You know, like farmland, surrounded by corn. I may have lived in cities. I've lived in cities ever since I was like 17, but like I was a country girl, born and bred. You've watched me for almost a year? Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching my journey, my digital scrapbook. I was just telling my husband last night, like, someday if we have kids, they'll get to see my entire integration journey. They'll get to see me learn Finnish. They will get to see their mom, you know, do all of this. And so whenever I start to feel like I'm getting harassed too much or people are being too rude to me on the internet, I try to keep that in my head, that at the end of the day, there are people supporting me, there are people that cheer me on, and then I get to have this amazing digital scrapbook. Mexico is so close to the US, I can relate to many things of your content. Yeah, I feel like so many times you post stuff and I go look in the comments and I'm like, why is everyone disagreeing? I agree with her. Or like, yeah, we measure distance in time and not in miles or meters. Like if someone asks how far away is something, I'm gonna say 15 minutes. It's a 15-minute drive. It's a 10-minute walk. I don't care how many miles or kilometers it is. Like that means nothing to me. How long is it gonna take me to get there? And that's something that like, I even asked my parents, I was like, how do you guys measure? Like if I was to say how far is it from where we live to New York City, they're like, oh, 6.5 hours. Like I feel like no one in the States says anything by the amount of miles. Been following me for a long time. Welcome to Finland. Thank you for following me and thank you for being here. And also I love that your profile picture is the twins from The Shining. That's like my family's favorite movie. The tattoo on the back of my neck is actually based on the twins from The Shining, oddly enough. How much Finnish do I speak? Barely any. I can like maybe order coffee and a pastry for myself at a coffee shop. And I can understand a lot of things, like, but I can't really answer. Like I kind of know what's going on sometimes, or I know people are saying to me, almost like not actively. Like I was at the coffee shop the other day and she said in Finnish, I'll bring the latte to your table. And she said it in Finnish and I just immediately knew what she was saying. Like I took it in immediately. But then if I couldn't repeat what she said. I just understood it. I would like to go to some music festivals this summer. I hate standing up. That's why I don't go to a lot of concerts anyway. Like if I can sit down, I'll go. If I can bring a picnic blanket, I'll go. And like, I'm so boring when it comes to the music that I like. Like I just get really hyper fixated on like a couple songs and I listen to them over and over and over again. Like I don't really like rock music. I like pop music. I like Taylor Swift. I like musicals. I like that kind of stuff. I do like some Finnish music, but I'm not in Helsinki. No, I'm in the Southwest coast on the archipelago. Like 2.5 hours from Helsinki. Everyone thinks I live in Helsinki and I'm like, I'd probably make content about Helsinki if I lived in Helsinki, but that's why most of my content is me just sitting in my house because there's not much to do in my town. My favorite color is pink and black. Those are my favorite colors. Yeah, mostly I have Finnish bands. Yeah, I like the music. I'm such an aesthetically driven person, and a lot of the stuff that I've seen on TV of like Finnish performances, I'm like, who did your hair? Who did your makeup? Who picked this outfit out? Like, what the heck? I feel like a lot of Finnish bands need help with their style, but that's just me. I'm gonna head out in just a couple minutes here, but thank you guys for being here and hanging out with me while my husband's at golf. But yeah, we'll probably do a lot of lives this summer while my husband is away at golf. Okay, the football fans and the Swifties, I thought that was hilarious. Like literally last night, my husband was showing me like yet another, I think it was like a video of Romanian football fans, and I'm like, God, these men would love the Eras Tour. They would love it. Like, literally, European football fans, they're all like, da, 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 like they're chanting and they're dancing and they're singing and things are on fire. I'm like, that is the Eras Tour. Yeah, I know there are more English speakers in Helsinki. And I love having international friends. I also really love having Finnish friends. I get along really, really well with the Finnish people in my real life. Maybe because I have a Finnish husband and I love him, so I kind of love every Finnish person a little bit, but... Okay, I'm gonna head out. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. As always, if you have any questions about Finland or my experience or
anything about me or about whatever, send me a DM, leave me a comment. I started posting on Instagram as well, like content that I don't post here under the same name, and on the app where longer videos are. I'm trying to just say it because I said it in a video the other day and then my views tanked, but I've been posting exclusive content on there. I just posted like a 20-minute video about my experience. So yeah, bye guys. I'll see you later. Good night.